Uh, hey friends, thanks for coming back to the Roll for Booty, the Booty Call podcast. I am here with my best friend Aaron. I was supposed to think of a new funny way to introduce you, and I was stuck between a hole in the wall where she can see it all,
Good.
or Hillary Clinton's emails.
Yes. I always want to be in Hillary Clinton's emails.
Just gone.
I bet she gets the best coupons.
We're super excited to have our guest today, Soren. Thank you very much for coming with us and hanging out. We're super stoked. You are the creator of the GMbinder mod for Final Fantasy 14 classes into D&D. And I'm already just like talking over and over because I've lived by this book for so long. Like I've been trying to bully my friends into making Final Fantasy campaigns for like 2 years.
He fully has.
Yeah.
as someone who played games with him, he's like, guys, but there's this, and we could all just be be in Final Fantasy
we
8.
just loop this in.
We could just be it. It's fine.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for having me on.
yeah, I'm super stoked. First off, I guess just the easy question: why did you do all this incredibly hard work? Because damn.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It actually started off as a single one-off for a home campaign. So I was playing with my friends I went to teachers college, and in between classes and like once or twice a month we get together to play. And obviously I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy 14, and I was like, having an astrologian for this particular NPC would be really cool. So the first class I actually ever did was an astrologian. So I built that up, got it all pulled together, started using it in the game, and people were having fun with it. I was like, okay, this is cool. Maybe other people will like this. I posted it up, and then I was like, I kind of want a Dark Knight now. So I cooked one up, posted that, and then that's when the snowball started, because people started asking me, well, when are you going to do this one? When are you going to do Warrior? When are you going to do Monk? And eventually just kind of snowballed into a full project. And then once I finished teachers college, I was kind of like in between that, that gap when you finish school, but you're looking for work.
Mm-hmm.
I filled my time working on the book because it was just a good way to keep busy. And it ended up turning into like a true passion project. And yeah, I've been running with it ever since.
That's so cool. How long do you think it took you to like get your first the full like draft?
The full book.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first full draft took me 2 years, I'd say.
Wow.
It was I go in like rough spurts, so it was like you'd have like a couple months where I'm just like every day just grinding at it, and I'd be like, all right, take a little break, come back to it. And then like once the book was done in its like first draft, I put it out there. The first couple places I put it was Reddit and Imgur. I just sent it out there to let people enjoy it. And then when the expansion started coming out after I had done the book, because it was the Stormblood expansion was the current one when I did the first full release. And I ended up with people being like, well, how about Gunbreaker? What do you think about Blue Mage? Where's Dancer at? The Dancer has me laughing a little bit because like I put my full money on it being a caster based one, so I had to completely redo it when it was released.
Yo, you're trying to get ahead of what it was gonna be. Yeah, Dancer.
Yeah, I was hedging my bets.
Dancer turned out to surprise us all for sure. I also mained it throughout that entire expansion, and I think Dancer is probably my favorite one that you've created, to be honest.
Yeah, I like the randomness in it. Like, I tried to be really creative with it, so it's got a little bit of everything. And then, I feel like the random table ability. I'm blanking on his name. I think it's like beguiling
Waltz.
Yeah, beguiling waltz. That one I got a lot of feedback where people are like, I love it or I hate it. So it was interesting. When you get feedback on both sides, I feel like you're in the right spot.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I felt like oh god, what was that game? Octopath Traveler had a Dancer with a similar one. and who was like,
That's exactly where I pulled it.
yeah.
I pulled the inspiration from Octopath for it.
My favorite person in that game was Primrose. So, like, I was going to start making when I first started doing videos, which wasn't that long ago, but it was a lot of like learning of what's gonna work and what's gonna not. And I was gonna do reviews on things, and I was gonna review all of your book.
Oh, okay.
And I only got one video out, and that was like Just Dancer. And then I was like, oh, I'm not doing this very well. So like, so we'll
But I mean,
figure
I think
something else
that's-
It
out.
was, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of
Yeah.
a testament to like how well each of those classes are written in this book, though. Is that like, because I was talking to my husband earlier about it, because he was like, "Oh, what are you guys recording today?" And I was like, "Oh, it's the guy to the Final Fantasy supplemental," and he's like, "How is it?" And I was like, "The classes are incredible because they're all so balanced."
Mhm.
I don't feel like anyone is like, because you know sometimes people will write a supplemental and you'll read a class and you're like, "That's broken."
Overpowered
That's
as hell.
game
Yeah.
ending.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And every single one of these, I was like, I want to play every single one of these. They're so balanced. They're so thought out. They're so detailed. They've got such great, like, teamwork aspects built into each of them, too.
Mhm.
And so, like, I mean, really just kind of walk us through that process because I want to know more about all of this sort of like class building process and where, you know, you kind of narrowed down each and every one of their aspects.
Okay, so kind of like the philosophy on the design when I'm trying to hone in
Yeah.
on what I want
Yeah.
it to be. Eh?
Yeah,
Okay.
and how did you balance
So-
like the skills afterwards?
Okay, sounds good. So I guess my first thing that I always do is I'll read up on like Final Fantasy wikis and just like fan stuff about the class because the nice thing about 14 is it's very self-referential.
Mhm.
So like, for example, they just announced Pictomancer at their latest fan fest, which has the least amount for me to lean on.
Yeah, that's gonna be a rough one.
There was like one character in I think it
Six.
was Final Fantasy 6, and that's like the only source to go off of. Bravely Default 2 had a Pictomancer as well. You can see I've already started researching.
Yeah, I'm excited. You're gonna have such a hard time with this. I
You're such a-
I
I'm not like-
trust you with it with my life, but it's gonna be so
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
You did Blue
be
Mage fine.
honest-
You can do this one.
Oh,
You believe me.
Yeah.
it was I was sitting in Discord with my buddies watching FanFest, and like we were watching the full release trailer, and it's like leading up, and I'm like, no, there's no way. It's not Pictomancer. It's not gonna be Pictomancer. And they're like, it's gonna be Painter. You have to get ready. It's gonna be Painter. I'm like, no, 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 no. I was in denial for about 10 minutes.
It's still Geomancer. There could be a bell.
Yeah. So yeah, the first step I take is just like learning about it in the greater Final Fantasy context. And then I use the player's handbook as kind of like my baseline to lay out a template, right? So like you have a few different classes that they act as like good templates. So for a half caster, I like to lean on Ranger, for example. Because you get like a few different, like it just adds like a nice little skeleton to work off of. So like every class is gonna have the same rough outcome depending on if you're a caster, half caster, or a marshal. Your ability scores are all gonna hit at the same time, all that kind of thing. So that's kind of where the progression balance comes in, and I know I'm not gonna get more than one or two things per level, so that's how I kind of keep the control on the features that I'm sticking in. But I think one of the big pieces is in terms of philosophy for the designing of the classes. I noticed that the player's handbook focuses on a lot of passive buffs, right? Like a lot of stuff is just kind of baked into the class. You get it. You don't really interact with it. It's just there.
Mhm.
I really like the idea of opportunity cost. So you have powerful abilities, but you have to decide, am I going to do A or B? If I do A, I lose B. And that's one of the big things that really drives my philosophy when I'm building classes, is I'm thinking about what my player is going to be like when they're like, oh, I have a couple options for reactions here. I can react and reduce damage I'm taking. I can smack them back. Or I can make this choice to alter the spell, but then I won't be able to do this thing later. So yeah, that's like the core on what I go for. And then because there's so many classes, I want there to be that level of interparty supporting each other and have that like gameplay where it's not I am a solitary hero. I stand alone. It doesn't matter if my party is throwing me buffs. Yeah, that kind of sums up the overall approach that I take with this. So I want there to be choice. I think choice is really interesting, especially under stressful situations.
Absolutely. I feel like
Yeah,
choice is
absolutely.
what makes D&D fun in the first place.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, and
Yeah,
especially like
definitely.
I like especially love that sort of relying on teamwork and the buffs and stuff like that. Especially it's like so for me, my favorite class to play in D&D is Bard, hands down, because there's so much of like having to work with everybody when you play a Bard. And because for me, like I don't want to play D&D as Batman. I don't want to play D&D
Yeah.
by myself as this like god like creature. I want to be like a flawed being that needs their friends.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that's so what D&D is about, and this felt so true to that in such a beautiful way.
I really like the Sage class. I was really curious
Mhm.
on how you were going to incorporate Sage into D&D, but you do something really cool with the subclasses where it still honors the main, especially 14 class, where it
Mhm.
still has everyone's innate abilities, but it focuses on a different path that they can go forward. Sage is a good example of healing, attacking, and then in between, Samurai is also a really good three-way split of doing it ranged or closing gaps or getting as many attacks as you can in one spot. I don't know. I could gush about it constantly. How many games have you run with this?
So at my tables, it's standard now. Like I just say, yeah, you can play out of the player's handbook or my book.
Mm.
If you find something you like else outside that, I'll let you play it as well, as long as you let me look at it first.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like I have a lot of trust in my book in terms of like the balance. I haven't run into any problems because I tried really hard to not have like the power scale be roughly at the same level as the player's handbook, or and like have some classes slightly above, some slightly below. Um, but like I didn't want it to eclipse the standard content. I wanted it to kind of coexist with standard things because like if I want to be someone that picks locks, I don't want to be locked into ninja. What if someone at my table wants to be a rogue, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
um so yeah, that's kind of where the focus is. And then in terms of like the branching out, like because D&D allows for that flexibility where you can have you have your core class fantasy, but then you can twist it in different ways. um, say to go back to Sage, because 14 the core identity is as a healer, but in one of its prior iterations it's more of like a master caster that manipulates magic and is focused on a lot of like attacking spells and stuff. So I wanted to respect kind of the historical pieces from Final Fantasy as well. Um, it's though it's like 14 focused, I like to kind of look at other parts of the franchise as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited for the Square Enix TT RPG for 14?
Yeah, I am. I'm really interested to see what they do.
I'm so interested in seeing what they do.
Yeah.
It's I don't have a deep understanding of what um tabletop RPG culture is in Japan. I know, or I've heard that I think it's called like, oh shoot, I'm blanking on the name. It's Sword something is like one of their more favored systems they play over there. And so I'm curious to
I know what
see
you're talking about now. My
what the
brain.
blend
is-
is. Yeah, I'm blanking on the name. It's Sword something.
Google.
But
Aaron,
I'm
Google.
Googling. I'm Googling.
Save your
I'm
Google.
Googling.
No,
Oh,
but yeah,
Sword
like
World.
it'd
It's
be
Sword
interesting.
World.
Sword World. Okay.
Sword World.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see, like, are they going to lean more heavily into the D&D side? Are they going to lean
Yeah.
more towards the Sword World system, a mishmash of both? Because there's so many systems out there.
Oh yeah.
D&D is just the most well-known here. But like, so yeah, I'm fascinated to see what they do with it.
I was sleuthing on the very little information that they gave us about it and looking at like a zoomed in totally fucked up JPEG of a character sheet. It looked kind of like Pathfinder.
That wouldn't surprise me at
Okay.
all.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
They're very like skill focused
Mm-hmm.
and combat
Yeah.
focused, which
Yeah.
is cool
Yeah,
for Final
very-
Fantasy, but you know, it's not what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I call
Pathfinder.
those systems crunchy.
Crunchy
Oh,
is
yeah.
very
crunchy
accurate.
systems.
They're the crunchiest of Pathfinder is the crunchiest
Yeah.
of crunchy.
I mean,
I mean, I
cycling in through like 3 different skills that take a rest period, right? Like, so okay, now it's time to use this one, and now I can use this one, so I can use this one next, and then it's just
yeah. Pathfinder is D&D for people who are really horny about math. That's
I think
really
that's a
what
good
it
way
is.
to look at it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like,
Um,
okay, I rolled a 10 and it's +1, 2.
I used to work with a guy who he would make all these like wild builds in Pathfinder.
Oh, yeah.
This was before I was really deep into D&D, but my buddy was really into Pathfinder. He'd be like, "Yeah, I made this monk that can jump 100 feet into the air." I'm like, "What happens when he comes back down?"
Yeah, what happens when he lands?
Oh, that's so. Our mutual friend, who was one of our guests last episode, who is my probably oldest friend, Nicholas, is one of those people where he will find every little tiny in the rules loophole to make his character just do some like buck wild thing, and he'll just run with it.
He'll
Like,
play it
when
like
I
a
remember-
Yu-Gi-Oh trap card at a table.
Yeah, I remember
Like-
when they came out with Harengon, and
Oh,
he was like,
yeah.
Harengons
Oh,
have
yeah.
a jump ability. If you're a Harengon monk, you can jump, you can grab somebody, grapple them, jump like 40 feet in the air with them, drop them, and then use key points to slow fall yourself down. And it's like, you're the
Oh, my
only person
goodness.
who would think of that. You're the only human being that would think of that. Like, immediately he was like, wait, bunnies can jump dumb high? Monks can slow fall. I could literally drop kill people. And I was like, oh my God.
He's the only time I've ever seen a Battle Ranger barbarian used in an effective
Yeah.
manner. In this, you have to have a
Insane.
broken brain to force that into something great.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. It kind of gives me the energy of you know, like the old Pokemon anime whenever they use seismic toss and it'd be like,
Oh yeah.
Oh
they're
yeah,
up into
you're
the sky and they're in space.
you're in the atmosphere. Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is like 10 points damage.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my
I just
God.
dropped you from the moon, and then you're fine, Caterpie. Like, what the
Okay.
hell?
Yeah.
Hey, Caterpie is indestructible.
Just rub some dirt in the wound. It's fine.
It's
I'll be good.
fine. Get back up.
Oh man.
Speaking of Pokemon, I see you stream a lot. You're streaming Pokemon right now, right? The newest additions to
Yeah, the
Switch one?
DLC, yeah.
How's that going?
Yeah, I actually it was going pretty well. I just wrapped up the DLC. I'm kind of in that weird, I don't know what I want to dig into deeply next.
Have you thought
like,
about
you know, when you kind of have like
game
game
streaming
gaps?
your mod and getting a group together and trying to get that going? I know that would do very, very well on Twitch.
Yeah, I know. I've been asked about that a couple times, and I feel like there's definitely an interest. It's just a matter of trying to, you know, like adult calendar.
Yeah.
It's always tough to get people in.
Incredibly hard.
I have like a home game that I'm running with my friends from Final Fantasy right now as well. That I'm using as partially testing my world out, like my personal world I've built out, but then also I like doing a really good job on people's first campaign. It's a lot of their first time actually playing through.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
it's It's almost like you know what, in like the sitcoms from the early 2000s, there's like the quirky guy in the basement that had his train set, and like he had like a whole train room and everything. Like, I get it now.
Yeah.
Like, that's what my
Yeah.
D&D world is to me. It's like my little train room where I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna handcraft this room, and this is what they do in this place. Like,
Put on my little
yeah.
conductor hat
I'm
and get to
definitely
going.
Yup.
Yeah. But yeah, I would like to run a D&D campaign on stream at some point. It's just one, finding the time, and two, finding a crew that like consistently can show up and
Yeah.
dig in, right?
It's always the hardest part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The big boss is the calendar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When you run games and stuff, do you usually do it in like your homebrew world, or do you usually do it in 14? Like, I forgot the world of it. Elorzia?
Eorzea.
Eorzea.
Yeah.
Or do you like jump from like main Final Fantasy to Final Fantasy and whatever fits?
Yeah. So my go-to where I'm most comfy is my own like personal world. Because there's not a lot of baggage or like weird stuff that can throw the lore of the world off. It's actually kind of funny the way that my DMing started. All I had was the 3.5 player's handbook. I didn't know other resources existed. So I was just out of the box. I was just like, all right, I'm making a soldier. And it's like a level 1 fighter, and I'm making this goblin. It's a level 1. Like, that was the approach. Like, I didn't know that there's so many resources out there, so I was just hand making everything. And that kind of became my default for doing DMing. Like, I have run something through the 14 world before, and it was a lot of fun. Funny enough, that campaign ended up leading to the new world, which is where the next expansion's going.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I'm interested to see. Yeah, I'm interested to see where they like what they do with it, because I'm sure our worlds are going to be very different.
Or not.
Or not.
Maybe
yeah,
you nailed
like,
it.
sometimes it's closer. But yeah, so my comfort zone is like my personal world, and then it also allows for people to uncover secrets that they probably already know from playing the MMO.
Yeah.
Like, spoiler alerts for, well, I'm not gonna say spoiler, but like there's a lot of like secrets to certain antagonists in the MMO, and there's very deep lore there that if the players are kind of privy to, it underpins all the other stuff going on, right? So I like having this freedom where there's not like, the world still has deep roots, but the players don't know what the roots are, I think is the main point there.
Yeah, very true. If you use a setting, especially one as known as a Final Fantasy game, then you're just gonna be building up your own world in it already, or like
Yeah.
they already know that Sephiroth is bad or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
adding to
Yeah,
it is just turns it into like everyone just remembering their favorite moments in a Final Fantasy game rather than playing D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It becomes almost like a tourism kind of thing. Where
Yeah.
it's like, all right, I'm gonna go to the cool spot that I liked here, and hopefully there's something cool there waiting for me. So yeah, like you can add twists to it. Like, for me, I had the very first arc I did. I had orcs. I had called them the Orqua, and they're like aqua-based orcs. They came in on ships. Famfrit hadn't been introduced to 14 yet, so I was using Famfrit as their primal, and he would create these oases in the desert for them, and they were feuding with the Amalja, and it was this whole arms race to summon stronger versions of their god and fighting with each other, and the party had to come and intervene.
That's awesome.
Sick, yeah.
So like, you could do twists and stuff to it where it's familiar but different.
Really different. So what's your main in 14?
I am a warrior main. I started the game as paladin. I finished it. Like, I got to 50, and then my brother's like, all right, now you should level warrior. and I've been playing Warrior ever since. And I started playing the game back when Leviathan was the current content. So
Yeah, that was
like
wow.
2.2. Yeah, so it's been a lot of axe swinging.
That's before Heavensworn, right? Leviathan?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's like
Yeah, I did.
the fetch quests between
Before-
that and starting Heavensword is like 3 days of fetch quests, and I have so many friends
It's so long.
in that section. Like I can't I can't just spend moments teleporting from town to town talking to people. I'm like, trust me, do it. Heavensword is so great.
I'm glad they went back to like retool it a little bit more, but it's definitely one of the spots where it kind of slacks. Like I remember back then they would send you back to Temple of Karn, which is a level 35 dungeon when you're level 50, and it's like, why are you making me do the side dungeons again?
It's pretty. Yeah, we all know
But
it's
I get
pretty.
it.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty, it's fun, it had interesting mechanics, but I did it already.
We did them. Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
Did you play 11?
I did not. I've seen gameplay of it. So 11, I was it was one of those. I didn't have internet until I was in high school. That's what my problem was.
Me?
So the first time I saw 11, I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I was watching my slightly older friend play it on his PS2. It's like, oh, that looked cool, and then just gone.
Very valid.
And then yeah, I started playing .hack as my MMO fix.
Oh, I love .hack.
Yeah, I'm a huge .hack fan.
I tried so hard to like get back into it, and I was like, maybe because I'm old or something, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, there's a lot going on. I don't remember half of this.
I'm over here like, don't make me play an MMO. I don't play that.
Yeah, having a multimedia franchise is cool and all, but it starts becoming some heavy lifting when you need to watch a full anime before you get to play the game.
Yeah. But we love our Japanese RPGs, don't we? We do it anyway.
Oh my god. I keep trying to, because I'm not an MMO boy, but I love RPG games. And Final Fantasy are like easily my upper echelon, like my favorite.
We held each other and cried during the Final Fantasy VII trailer.
And then I loudly screamed about Matt Mercer as Vincent Valentine in actual tears because it's like my two favorite things had a baby, and I'm so excited. But
we're so lucky to be alive.
We're so lucky to be alive. In that same vein, I am a huge Kingdom Hearts nerd, like deep in the lore Kingdom Hearts nerd.
Yeah.
And I just keep trying to get my husband to play Kingdom Hearts. And he's just like, it gets so weird after a while. Keep in mind, this man's favorite Final Fantasy game is 6.
6 gets pretty weird.
You're telling me Kingdom Hearts is too weird for you?
It's not as like that's okay. I gotta talk to Robert. Kingdom Hearts.
I know. I'm like, baby. He has like, it's something about the second game. It's because he hates Roxas, and I'm like, hey, we all hate Roxas.
Yeah, that's part of the experience.
we love Axel. We got the gift of Axel through Roxas, but we all hate Roxas. I was like, baby, you just have to get through that Roxas part, and that because
it's 5 hours, you're over with, and you don't have to pay him anymore.
Exactly, and I'm like, baby, 3 is a masterpiece, and you need to get to it because that game. I cried through that whole game, and then the 4 teaser dropped like a month ago, and I was just like, you can't do this to me again, Square Enix.
When I saw the trailer for 4, it looked like such a wild tonal shift.
Yeah.
Like it was fascinating to see just how aggressively they're pivoting.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting series to look at. Like,
well,
I haven't delved into it deep, but
I think it's such a great example of, and I think it's something Final Fantasy itself does, where they've learned to age with their market. And so the first Kingdom Hearts was like such a heavy Disney game, and the second one's kind of a midpoint, and then the third one really felt like a Final Fantasy game. more than it did a Disney game. And I think Final Fantasy's done that too, in that like they've really aged really, really well with their player base. And like we have all this nostalgia for those older games, but we still want new games, you know?
Yeah.
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 And so it was just one of those things where like they keep so much of that nostalgia and keeping like a lot of the classes that you built into your supplemental, like the blue mage and the black mage. And I had such a hard time choosing between playing a bard and being one of the mages, just because like your mage classes are so true to those older Final Fantasy mages in such a beautiful way. Like I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm totally gonna be I did end up playing a bard. I'm so sorry, but
I was
it's
surprised that you
because
did both.
the bard you wrote is so cool and I love it so much. But like, oh, I got to red mage and I was like, I don't know, I might have to be a red mage because this is amazing and I love it so
I
much.
was
So
literally shocked you did pick red mage.
It was Billy.
It was
Billy. It was hard.
Red Mage is one that I struggled so hard to like get a good copy of it going. I knew at its core I wanted it to play that interesting, like have supportive abilities while still having all its like one of the core issues with it in terms of like balance is Red Mage is supposed to have it all.
Yeah.
Right? It's not supposed to be a master of all, but it should have access to all. And trying to like reflect that in the spell list and like what's available to it is like it's an interesting line to walk. So I ended up kind of leaning on Bravely Default's iteration of Red Mage. That's where like the stuff with like playing with initiative order and things like that, that's where that was kind of drawn from, was the stuff that they were doing over in Bravely Default.
I thought it was a good. I read the past versions too, and I like both of them. There are both red mages, but they're both like they're definitely variants and completely different at the same time.
Yeah,
I love when classes play with different mechanics, like initiative mechanics, or
absolutely,
or just random things where using the proficiency bonuses instead of their mods and stuff like that.
Hit die.
Yeah, hit die, like stuff like that we don't even think about, and then like using your hit die for specific stuff is like, wow, we've had hit die this entire time. Now we're using them?
Like, right? Well, and I think that's what eventually settled me on being the bard, was I loved all of the things that you let your bard do with those bardic inspiration dice. That I feel like most of the time it's just like, oh hi, here's a bardic inspiration dice, run wild, throw it at a teammate. With this, it's like, oh no, I can use that to then like do this constant buff thing or all of it's just, I love it so much as someone who like is such a diehard like bard player. I got
like a massive bard fan.
I was like, this is that's why I was like, I had to go back to it, because I was like, this is everything I want from a bard subclass.
You're totally welcome
and that's
to play bard at all my tables, Aerin. You can bring.
I know.
You can bring this.
I rein myself in, but it was one of those things where like I feel like a lot of the time Wizards doesn't always get their bard subclasses right. Like we have the lore bard, which is the OG, which is just, it's such an immaculate bard. But then like you have some of these other ones, like there's one of the new ones. I think it's from the Theranos. It's the
Creation.
It's not.
No, what is it? It's from. It's the
sword one.
It's like the speakery one.
Oh, elegant.
Yeah, eloquence. And I was. It could have been so much cooler, but they're just basically a glorified monologuer, you know. And I was like, that's not what that's not what I want to be as a bard. I want to be. I want to be a little tiny bit magic and a little tiny bit sneaky, but also like I'm the one that's gonna talk everybody out of getting like sent to jail. And that's
there's being like the mouth of the party, and then there's being a professor at a university that speaks for hours on end.
Yeah, and I was like, I would rather be the face of the party, a Scanlan short halt, if you will, kind of a character, than like,
Yeah.
let me just be this monologuing nerd. And so when I was reading through it, all of the subclasses that you gave them, I was just like, these are so fantastic, because you had more of a rangery kind of a bard that still
Which
Yeah.
did
Final
a lot of that
Fantasy
buffing magic,
14 doesn't have, I just want to say.
right? But then you also have like the true
14 made a
performer.
really- Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a good merging of the two.
Yeah.
14 made an interesting choice there.
Mhm.
Like being like, all right, so your archer is now a bard.
Mhm.
I thought that was like an interesting progression choice, because
No
like you
choice.
think, oh no, it's gonna be a ranger or something. No,
Nope.
here's your harp. Get out there, champ. But like I like the lore that they went with it, where like it's a newer art, and like your bard teacher, the first one, is like it's born from him trying to soothe the souls of his past allies and stuff. Like it's got a really interesting touch to it, where it's beyond just like funny man with harp, but like it's just such like an interesting mix. I both love it and hate it.
Yeah.
Because it was just like it was hard to cook up something for it to like be like, all right, I need to have the archer element, but like it's also a bard, and like it took me a few runs at it before I actually got it right.
It definitely gives him like a kind of like a wandering, lovable troubadour kind of a thing that I thought was very cool. Yeah.
Varen, your eyes
Yes.
are jolted open. You must have dozed off for a little bit. You're sitting in a car that has departed from Blam Garden some time ago. You must have passed out down the long ride from the garden down to Blam proper. You're in the back seat of a car being driven by one of the chauffeur drivers that the garden provides. You are dressed in your seed cadet uniform, because today is your seed training, your seed exam, the final exam. How you'll perform today will directly affect your passage into the seed program. The driver turns around and says, hey, looks like it's your stop.
So I wink my eyes kind of hard a few times, just kind of waking myself up, and all right, let's do this. So I crack my knuckles and thank the driver. And just look and say, thanks for the ride, and I'll open the door up and step out.
You step out into the street. Blam Town shuts off the roads into and out of the town if they are currently using the harbor for missions or insurrections. So the car is stopped by Blam police who are waving him down, and you'll exit into the street and turn and look upon Blam City. I don't remember, were you from Blam?
Technically, just not very well experienced. It was very much a secluded living, and then was found my way off to Garden.
Perfect. You are stepped out into the city. You make your way to the sidewalk, and you remember the words that a professor told you recently, that you will be meeting up with the second part of your squad C, at the main street sign. So if you'll know that if you keep going down the street past the big blockade that they have blocking off the entrance of the town, you should run into your partner.
All right, sounds good. So I'm just gonna start walking down the street. I'll give kind of like I'm kind of feeling a little pressure being the final exam, but like still kind of happy-go-lucky. I give the officer a little wave as I'm walking by. Have a bit of a calm smile, just trying to like release some of that energy as I'm making my way down, and I just keep my eyes peeled, looking around for my partner.
Awesome. Very quickly, you see a person who stands out. Another cadet in a uniform, quite shorter than you are. Aaron, would you like to describe your character?
Okay. So you see a small yet heartily rotund Lalafell, happily in her Lalafeld cadet uniform. So normal structured top, but like obviously cute little skirt with bloomers, knee-high socks, little boots, the whole. Oh, they're so cute. I'm obsessed with them. Big giant ears just sticking straight off the side of her head, cute little tawny blonde hair, big blue eyes, just looks way too precious to be here. Hopping around, pacing, full of energy.
Is it a high pony or pigtails?
Oh, it's pigtails. It's absolutely pig. It's like little space buns.
You don't play Final Fantasy 14, but there's a thing in Final Fantasy 14 where if you meet another lolly, that they have to jump up and down with each other.
Listen, making this character made me be like, should I play this game? And then I was like, you don't like MMOs. I don't like playing games with other people unless they're tabletop RPG.
That's why 14 is
You
the
can always
best.
pick at
You
it.
don't need to talk to anybody. We'll
See,
get into
okay,
this.
so maybe, all right.
We'll talk about it later.
Maybe that's what we'll stream together, Billy.
I'm not mad about it.
All right.
Yeah, and you see this
Yeah.
little ball of energy, excited, running around a lamp post, almost like Christmas morning, but it is just Thursday.
Just a Thursday.
Just a Thursday.
The best Thursday.
Aaron's gonna kind of make sure his hair's proper. He kind of runs his hand through, just pull his bangs back. He takes a deep breath. He's like, "All right, let's do this." And he walks up and just kind of like hovers near the Lalafell and is kind of asks. He doesn't want to like surprise them. Just, "Hey, are you here for the seat exam too?"
Oh, yes. Oh, hi. I'm Kofefe. It's so nice to meet you. And I stick my hand out up in your direction.
Bending my knees slightly, I reach out and take the hand. Barin, I'm a little nervous today, but it's going to be a good time. I hope.
You're going to be amazing. I just know it. They gave me orders not that long ago. We have to go to the harbor like right now. I'm like just shaking.
Well, we best start running then.
Yes.
You're
go.
leaded through Bland proper. You have to pick up your pace. You're not a slow person, but you're like, wow, I really gotta heel toe it to stick behind this little tiny darting past people. I'm assuming Kafefe,
Kofefe.
you goblin, is greeting every person that she walks by.
Absolutely she is. She's like, oh, hi. Oh, that dress is gorgeous. How are you today? Look at your cute little dog. Just every single person.
As Varin's making his way through the crowd, just doing his best to keep up, he's just like, "Excuse me, pardon me, I'll be right coming through. Sorry."
I'm so sorry.
So challenged by your height.
Sometimes being tall has its disadvantages.
I bet. Wouldn't know.
Same.
Sometimes when I wear my boots, I know, but no. You're led through Blam Town, and you make yourself around the hotel, the Grand Hotel that everyone knows. It's a big landmark staple here. It overlooks the ocean, and you go downwards over the hill, and there are a harbor with one boat left, and you know this it is one of the Blam Garden boats. It is tubular in shape, pushed up onto the side with the entrance lower down that turns into a staircase, and there is a professor outside. Looks like she's just playing with her nails, just waiting for someone to come up to her, and she sees you guys walking down the stairs and flags you guys over.
Seed cadets reporting for
I
duty.
return the wave.
Perfect.
I quietly salute behind the announcement, just like.
Well, enthusiasm is always a positive thing. They tell me. So perfect. We have Varn and Kefefe here from Squad C, correct? And
Correct.
That's right.
she checks off. It's like, all right, go ahead, hop in and take a seat. They'll be briefing you here in a second. I just have to get settled up into the cockpit, and I'll be right there with you. And then she'll lead you guys in. You guys walk into the boat and down almost like water level and into a room that is has chairs, no, couches built in the side facing each other, and there's a large screen on the frontwards facing side of the boat. Will look like it is turned off currently. You guys will sit down for about 5 minutes before anything happens. You'll feel the boat move, engines turning on, the smell of oil starts burning, and it moved you away from quiet beach town to a weird, serious surrounding. And eventually the woman will return and walk up quietly, and she will click a button on the screen, and then schematic starts popping up, and she will turn around and says, okay. As some of you know, Galbania is attacking Dollet right now. We are not sure why they are in the town, but we do know that the mayor of Dollet has hired us to send certain groups into the town to secure certain places. And then the schematics of the town will zoom in, and then you'll see the Dollet town on the top northwest side and the beach, and then little indications showing you where the boat is going to be going. It's just we're going to land here on the south side of the town into its ocean side. We're not going to be going into the harbor. The harbor has been completely closed off. Your group specifically is to secure a ambassador for Blam. Her name is Celeste, and you might know her as, and she clicks a button, and a photo of a woman. She has very fair skin. She's wearing a tight white dress, and she has a shawl over her, and the shawl is like burgundy and green, and she has like an emblem, like a tiara over her hair that goes over it. It's not very long, it's shoulder length. You, Varn, would know her immediately as the Queen of Hearts.
Oh, okay.
She is...
So, immediately I perk up and like lean in. I'm more locked in. I was more relaxed and passively taking it, but now I'm just like totally...
I was like, oh shit, yeah. She is, for the uninformed, the professor is speaking. She is very important to Blam. She is known as the Queen of Hearts over the entire world. Many people from across the planet will travel to the places that she is currently at to play her in Triple Triad. She is the world's #1 leading player. She is incredibly important that we make sure that she is delivered home safely. Currently, she is...
Smiles.
Yeah. I was super... I loved reading your excerpt because I had this planned a while ago. I was like, oh, this is perfect. We know her to be last at the pub, the Dancing Donkey. It is a run-of-the-mill billiards bar that she knows the owner of, and she stays over some nights. And since this insurrection, she should be there, hiding out. Hopefully she's safe. Your job is to go there, secure the area, secure her safety, and then await until help will arrive. Squad E should be arriving with an exit for you guys as soon as they're able to finish up what they're currently doing, which is classified. You are to, at no time, leave this area after securing it, unless one thing happens. Unless the entire building itself is in... sorry, brain farted. Unless the entire building itself is going to be taken over or destroyed. Sorry.
Words
All
are
good, all
hard.
good.
Words are so hard.
Message
Words are so
received.
hard.
Yeah, the professor said all that. That wasn't me.
Perfect.
Yeah. The professor has
Um,
dyslexia and she's reading off a page and she's having a hard time.
got the mission memo right there, but
Yes.
so
Right.
I look up at her and ask, are there any other groups we should be aware of that are active in the area?
No, there will be other groups in the area, but none of them have orders that will be dealing with yours. If you see them, leave them be, continue forward, and make sure that your task is completed. And if something happens where you are no longer able to wait and then secure this building, gather her up and exit towards the beach.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Is there an identifying thing to know that it's Squad E? Is there a passphrase or? Well, I know when I see him.
They will identify themselves as Squad E.
All right, sounds good.
And then now it's
All right.
about she will leave and go into her cockpit, but you have about an hour to yourselves until we are landing. If there was anything any of you wanted to get done prior, or how did you spend your time in this awkward little tube?
Are there windows?
There is no windows, but there is
No.
an exit that goes to the top of the ship and out of the ship. So it's a little cockpit that you can walk up and then be outside on.
I absolutely
Okay.
run back and forth between that. Every time I see anything, like I'm like, there's a leaf on the water. I run back downstairs. There's a leaf on the water. I run back upstairs.
So I watch a few laps of Cafefe going up and down before I reach into my jacket and pull out my ever important deck of Triple Triad cards and start kind of like flipping through them. And then I'll watch Cafefe going up and down, look at the cards a little bit, and then be like, I wonder. And start kind of joining you going up and down
Yes.
a little bit. Just to like get the vibe, right? Just like sync up a little bit. And
There's a
start
seagull, guys,
chatting
there's
as
a
we're going up and
seagull.
down.
It's important.
So what do you do? What it's a yeah. So what do you do? Like, what's your thing?
Mostly music. I like music. And I pull out a little harp out of seemingly nowhere and just ring across it.
Ah,
What about you?
great
Like-
effect. That's good. Well, you can sum it up with pretty good with my hands. A bit of a punch first and ask questions after. But
That's good.
yeah. So
Gotta be tough.
I'll I'm not to brag or anything, but I like to think I'm pretty tough.
You look tough. Leave you. Just
Thanks.
Covfefe is so good for
What's going on?
self-esteem.
Correct. I think everybody's incredibly
I made-
cool.
Major morale booster.
Yep.
So as we're going
I'm the
up and
personality hire.
down, I'll reach in. You play Triple Triad at all?
Oh. No, but I'd like to learn.
Well, it just so happens I always keep 2 decks on me at all times.
Cool.
And I'll pull out like the second deck. Like these are just basics, but like if you want to play while we're waiting, we can always play. But getting the cardio up's always good too.
Immediately. She sat down at a table. She like climbs into a chair.
Perfect.
So I walk over, take a seat across, and hand over the deck with just the basic, like bare bones kind of basic cards.
Yeah, you
I
get
wouldn't
handed
travel on a mission with my good stuff.
you get handed a deck of cards and you don't know what you're looking at, but you see they're really cool pictures. One has a picture of a bomb. You've seen a bomb before. One has a picture of a gnat, which is like a grassy monster that you see in the training. I'm thinking of what other tier 1 cards.
Yeah, probably like a chocobo.
Yeah.
Something like that.
They're all
One of these.
they're all commons. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're all
it's the
incredibly
bottom of
cool.
the barrel.
Yeah. I think you've
then-
given me the greatest deck of cards on earth.
And you will slowly learn the intricacies of playing Triple Triad over the next time, but eventually you do get told we're landing in 3 minutes, look alive, and then you guys are switched to work.
When she hears landing, she runs back up to the little porthole.
Yeah. I'll start limbering up, just doing my stretches and getting ready for some high octane action.
The boat jerks as you slam against the sandy shores, and for Vars inside, the wind hits you as the opening of the ship opens and the stairs slide down and into the sand. You hear Cafefe squeal in excitement from the top and then run down, and you guys make your way off. You guys make your way off the boat and onto the sand, and it isn't war chaos, but it's chaos. You see smoke off in the distance. You actually let me have perception checks.
Alrighty. So I'm looking at 14.
13 for me.
Perfect. Okay, so you two both see at very close by, at the end of where the sand ends, there is a large concrete wall barricade where everything is up or on, and there is a walkway that goes up into what looks like a square, kind of like a town square, like where people would come and park before they walk down to the beach. And past that, there is a street that goes into the middle center of town, and you do not see any people currently, but you do hear sounds of fighting. You hear of an explosion every now and then. You hear car sirens. You hear gunshots are probably the most prominent thing you hear. It's not like machine gun fire, but it's enough to like grab your attention real fast and look around. Kind of like when you live on like First Street and then you're like firework or gunshot. That's what it's like.
You hear that pop, and then it's just like, oh.
Was that a muffler or someone died? Which one? But yeah, that's what you guys see.
Yeah. All right. So I'll look to Cafefe and be like, all right, you ready for this?
As ready as I'll ever be, and my ears are like tilted down. Just everything's loud. It's so big. I'm so small. But we got this.
Yeah. All right, let's move carefully, keep ourselves sparse, and see if we can slide past trouble as best we can.
Perfect. You guys make your way up the stairs and into the square. As you are walking down the square and right where the street would begin, you do see a dog. It looks like the dog had just ran out of an alley a little forward down. The dog looks kind of distressed and kind of scared, and the dog is like trying to backing up, and outside of the alley are 2 Galbanian soldiers who do look armed and looks like they're approaching the dog.
Okay.
Oh no.
Before jumping into action, I'd like to take a moment to open my my chakra gates.
Perfect.
Just like get the resources flowing. So I'll just get those active.
Awesome. So
Then
remind me again.
So that's just like the key system.
Yeah, it's the key system where you have 3.
Yeah. So
all right, perfect.
yeah, I get 3 opens, but I get with my stats 2 charges each time I open.
Perfect. I really like the monk. It's so much more than just punch or swing a sword.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
a lot more like stuff to do. A lot like the Final Fantasy 14 monk with all your different charges and stuff.
Exactly.
Options.
Open
The soldiers
use them.
the soldiers are walking out of the alley and towards the dog, and then immediately stop and see both of you, and immediately their guns are drawn and pointed up, and they're saying, like, where are you from?
So, Varin is gonna put his hands up in the air and just very slowly walk towards them, like, "Oh, we're just wandering travelers. We're
here.
we got a little sidetracked. We're in the chaos, and
We were
if I'm
on our
able
way
to
to.
get close enough."
I'm gonna back you
Oh,
up with
yeah,
this
go
and see
ahead.
you get closer to them. I'll be like, we were on our
Yeah,
to play a show, and I'll pull out my harp and just start like.
Because he doesn't see weapons, he's just holding his gun at you as you're walking forward. And then,
yeah.
how close?
If I'm able to get close enough, I want to headbutt him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, give me an
Square.
attack roll for sure.
All right.
Bum bum ba-dum bum 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 bum.
Yeah. So unarmed strike with the headbutt.
Get him.
Well, that was unfortunate.
Oh, no.
I was hoping that'd be a lot cooler. I not won it. Best intentions, eh?
You know, I don't think he was expecting it, so I would give you advantage. Yeah,
Alright,
he
I'll
didn't
give it a
expect to
reroll.
get headbutted.
Solid.
All right. So we're looking at 15.
All right, cool. It could have.
Hey.
You feel like this could have gone really wrong.
Yeah.
But you're walking up
Like,
with your
I
hands.
saw the picture in the back of my mind.
You're walking up with your hands up, and you quickly slap his gun out of the way, grab him by the beginnings of his Galbanian armor, and bring your head into his. Can you give me the damage?
Yep. 7 damage.
7 damage, and let's roll initiative.
Yes.
Alrighty. So we're looking at. We're getting the rough rolls out of the way right now. So
Oh, no.
I rolled a 6.
Oh, that's fine.
Four-
I'm DMing. And you haven't played with me before, but I don't
14
roll
for me.
well.
Rolling just as well.
Yeah.
I am the
14 for me.
14.
Yeah.
All right. It is. We're gonna start with Kafefe. You
Yes.
just see your new teammate grab the Galbanian soldier by his armor and just ram his forehead into his, and it makes this loud crack that like kind of quiets the street for a second, and then it's you. What do you do?
Beautiful. That's a good question. What do I want to do? Oh no. You know what? Okay. I am gonna say that'll teach you to be mean to dogs, and my harp will transform into a longbow, and I'm gonna take a shot at one of the other soldiers.
Get them,
Right
motherfucker.
there. Wah. Oh god, nope. I'm also rolling hot garbage. Oh, maybe not. 13, 14,
hits.
14.
The hits.
Nice.
Proud of me.
And this is the other guard.
All of... Yeah, this is the other guard.
Perfect.
For 7 points of damage.
Awesome. And then it goes back to Varin.
All right. How close would you say they're standing together? Are they like shoulder to shoulder?
They're 5 feet apart.
Are they spaced out? They're 5 feet apart.
Mhm.
So since I'm right up on them, I'm going to spend my elemental charges to do Arm of the Destroyer.
Perfect.
So that's a Earth Tremor cast. So they'll need to make a Dex save.
Dex save. I got.
Yep.
So, shit. 20 and unnatural 20.
All right, they jumped.
So
So
you bring
to
your
try
arm
and
down and
salvage.
punch the ground, and the ground underneath Varin just kind of like ruptures and up. But for some reason, these guys are like, ah, and jump up right before it actually hits them.
They're so ready. All right, so to try and salvage this moment, then
Do I take half
will-
damage?
Pardon?
Do I take half damage?
Good question. On failed save. No, it's a full on. I think.
Got it.
All or nothing. It does make the ground difficult terrain though.
Perfect. Yeah, it's just an attack. That's right.
Okay. So, salvaging this moment, then I'm gonna go for Grease Lightning as a bonus action. So, I'll be making 2 unarmed attacks on the guy that I opened the fight with.
Perfect.
All right, so, that's a 24.
Definitely.
Do you want me to roll the damage each time we roll, or do all the attacks? And then
Whatever is good for you. It's gonna be bludgeoning, so it'll be totally fine.
Yeah. Regardless, Varn would probably attack the guy twice anyway. 24 and 24. All right.
Shit.
So, it's 12 total.
12
So
total.
Varn like punches the ground and like they do the jump, but then he comes up and uppercuts the guy, and then like elbows into his chest.
Nice. 2 sickening cracks that you feel a rib cage, one of his bones in his rib cage definitely give in on that last hit, and he kind of just like the air that comes out of his like throat kind of all like he didn't expect any of this to happen.
Yeah. He wasn't expecting to get jumped.
No. I was like, I'm gonna have them get into a fight. How do I get them into a fight? I threaten a dog's safety.
Yeah.
And then it is going
the heartstrings.
that'll do it. The soldier that you just took hits on is going to try to hit you with his gun. His gun has a bladed attachment to it that works as a short sword that he holds in 2 hands. He takes this big long swing at you, just try to get his own balance from getting fucking smacked so hard. And it whiffs super hard. And then he'll bring it back up now that he's got his focus back. Does 16 hit your AC?
Yeah, beats it.
Perfect. So he is going to bring it up to do 3 points of slashing damage as you kind of just like is swinging by the butt of his sword, like just trying to get a breath of air in. And then the other one is going to point his rifle at Kafefe and take 2 shots.
Rude.
What's your AC, Aaron?
14.
14. Okay, so yeah, 13 and 8. Just like pop, pop. These bullets are being shot at you, and you're like, ah! And you Lalafell run with your arms up, and you just see pieces of the concrete sidewalk just explode as you just run away, like as you continue running around. It is back to your turn.
So rude. Oh my god. I am gonna use one of my minstrel's music abilities, and spend a bardic inspiration dice to do the warden's pay-in, which when an allied creature takes damage, they reduce the damage equal to my bardic inspiration dice, which because I am level 5 is a d8. They're like, stop trying to hurt me and my friend. We're just trying to teach you to be nice to dogs. And I'm just gonna start playing my little tune.
Perfect. As you play your harp, the music comes out of it almost like a heat wave on a sidewalk, kind of like bends and warps around time and space, and you will be reducing damage. All right, and then it goes back to Varus.
All right. So, after the guy comes swinging back at me, I'm just gonna return the favor. We're kind of in that locked in. It's not one-on-one, but like it's feeling like a one-on-one.
Yeah. The stage light is on you.
So I'm just gonna go for a couple unarmed attacks, just swinging at him. So we got 13. Is that
13 just hits.
good or just hits? All right. And 14. So
Both of them.
roll that damage. All right. So that's 14 total. So what I'm going to be doing is, yeah, just like after he cuts me, I'm going to like kind of do like a leaning back, like pump kick kind of thing. And then like a palm strike, like just, oh, that kind of hurt. And then just come right back at him.
As soon as your palm strike matches his nose and you feel it kind of pop, his eyes go from squinted focus to just dazed, and then you just bring his body to the ground. And that. Oh yeah, did you want to do anything else?
So the other guy's up and right beside me, right?
Yes, he is 5 feet away.
Pretty quick. You know what? I got the chakra. I'll move in and grease lightning on him as well.
Hell yeah.
Heck
So, 2 unarmed. So 12 and 18.
18 hits.
One of those, I'm assuming.
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna run in and like I'm gonna go for like a wild haymaker that kind of like whiffs. But then I like when I'm coming back from the haymaker, I'm just gonna like back elbow him for 5.
Hell yeah. That's gonna bring it to his turn. He's going to pull his rifle sword up and around, and then he's gonna try to bring it down on you twice.
Alrighty.
That's gonna hit. That's not gonna hit. He gets you on the first bring down for 6 points of slashing damage, which you reduce by a d8.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. All right. Where's my D8 at? There it is. All right. So reduced by 3.
Awesome. The blade like gets a nanosecond away from you, and you kind of like hear the pullings of a harp, and then it kind of gives you a moment to step away, and it kind of just cuts you like half as bad as it would have been. And then it is Fefe.
Just not getting it. And I'm going to take another shot at him. Yeah, for 16 to hit.
Got him.
Nice. For 7 damage again.
Great, and it's back to Varin.
All right. Yeah, you know what? Nothing fancy. We're just gonna stick in close and keep that flurry of attacks going. So nat 20
Fuck yeah.
and 16.
Both hit.
Hey, we're killing it.
Yeah, you guys.
Popping off. We're popping off.
I was just doing my job.
What are you doing to me? All right. So it's gonna be 17 total.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
He gets his cut, and then I'll just move back in. And it's like a left punch to the chest and then a right punch to the throat is what he's going for.
Left punch to the chest, right punch to the throat. The differences of momentum are so strong, and they happen so quickly that he kind of like gets pushed up and then pushed down again, where he almost does this whole kind of flip as he hits the ground. And you have solved my Galbanian
Yeah.
meme guy puzzle. And then you guys find yourself on the street.
Little skirmish.
Yeah.
You have
Alrighty.
taken down a couple of Galbanian soldiers. You are back in mission time. The dog looks like has moved away and ran straight down the street. But he is free to do dog stuff and not get molested by Galbanian soldiers. So.
Perfect.
We did good.
So I look at Cafefe. Yeah, good job. Let's get their
Good
bodies
too.
into the alley real quick.
Okay.
Just get that
Pass.
sight. And so Varin right away is just gonna grab one of the guards and start dragging him over. And then depending on how Cafefe handles the other one, we'll come back and help and or
You probably drag
pull that one
the
into.
first one, and Kofi's just like. Just
But
I've moved them like half an inch in the entire time you're gone.
you're gonna have to move both of them, but you could do so pretty quickly.
Yeah.
All my tiny might with my 10 strength score.
She tried so
Really?
hard though.
Tried so hard.
Yeah. It's an A for effort.
As you
Why
guys,
did you learn to move like that? That was incredible.
Oh, I'm just a lot of it comes from experience. You get a lot of practice when you grow up rough.
That's sad. We should go. And then,
I am today without it.
you guys walk down the street,
All right.
and soon enough, as you guys are continuing down, you haven't been to Dollet before, but you can tell that this is pretty disaware. There are some cars lit on fire. Looks like one car has actually sped off into the street and hit a pole, just slowly baking in the corner. You guys walk right past that, not your problem. You guys will eventually come to the main street that has a bunch of signs everywhere, and one of them has the big sign for the pub that you're looking for, and it's glowed up in neon, and it's definitely got this like really hometown pool hall kind of front, and from the outside looking in, it looks like there are 2 windows by the side of the door. It looks like it is 2 stories. And from what you can tell, it looks like there is a upstairs balcony that looks open. And here you guys are.
Okay. So, you want to go for the front? All right, I might be able to monkey my way up to the balcony if we want to. But I don't want to spook them if they're in there.
I mean, if you think you could get up there, that might be good for the element of surprise, and then I can just kind of pincer them in from the other way.
Well, how about I climb up, see if I can help you up, and then I'll come in through the front, just in case there's something.
All right.
Ideally, things are safe. All right. Yeah. So, I imagine I'd look for a way to climb up to the balcony if there's
There's some piping around the side that you could use to climb up. You could do an athletics check with advantage to get up. If you're going to get her up, you can just roll a straight athletics check just to get up apart, grab her, and then boost her all the way up to the top.
All right. I think I'll go for the double effort here. So, just like the straight roll.
Go for it.
Oh, I nat 20 to.
Effortlessly. It's so funny if you botch that.
Just drop. Oops.
Clunk.
Yeah, beautifully done. You are alley-ooped to the top floor of the balcony, Kefefe. You are like, he gets halfway, grabs you, and then kind of like palm ups you, almost like you're kind of getting that basket, like a free throw in, and then it's just enough force to just get you to like slide over the top and poop right on the ground.
Yeah.
And then you're on a balcony. You see that there are 2 tables with some chairs. There are buckets for where people would put their cigarettes, and there is a door that looks like it leads inside. The door typically has glass on it. It looks like someone has put up a bunch of like newspapers and kind of like blocked it out. Looks like newspapers, looks like a chair, looks like a bunch of stuff that they can just like kind of keep the visibility down from the outside.
Can I see any like gaps in the newspaper where I could peer through?
Give me a
At
perception
all?
check.
Okay. No, that's a 9.
Yeah, no, you can't see much in there. You see like what could be the corner of a pool table.
I see a table.
Right. All right. I'd expect that in a pool hall.
Yes.
I'll work my way down. I guess just keep an ear, and if you don't hear any ruckus in the next couple minutes, come down,
You got it, boss.
and we'll see. All right. Yeah. So Baron's gonna work his way back down the pipe, and he's just gonna very like slowly go to the front door and open it with a few knocks and be just looking around.
You try to open the door. Yeah, so it does stop you. It looks like it is locked. You'll give a few knocks,
Okay.
and you won't hear a response.
Okay. Well, first I'm gonna open up them chakra gates again.
Open up damn
so-
chakra gates.
Just in case something happens, I'm gonna power up a little bit here.
Why would it even happen?
Are the windows covered with paper and stuff as well?
It looks like
Would
the
I be able to,
windows
like,
have been for the downstairs. It looks like the curtains have been closed to try to block out all visibility.
okay. I am unable to not have a pick set, so let's see. What will I don't want to, if it's just peaceful in there, I don't want to freak them out, but I think Varn's gonna go for like, it's like a very focused palm strike against like where the doorknob
Oh, yeah.
is the frame, just to like try and breach it.
Just gonna like try to pop
It's like a very focused bam.
break out the hinge of the where the lock mechanism would be. So we just open up. Yeah, go ahead and give me
Yeah.
give me attack.
All right. So 23.
Defo.
Roll. Yeah, definitely a hit for 9 damage.
9 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doors are vulnerable to bludgeoning, especially
Yeah,
someone's
it's-
who's who's.
I know what you're. It's the threshold, isn't it?
There's a medium threshold on this door. No,
You
you
just hear a good.
I would say it would pop open.
Okay.
It was a sharp crack, and the door is now open. Do you let it swing open, or do you just like hold on to it and then?
I'll hold it and then slowly open and knock. It's like, all right, let's try that again. Knock, knock, knock.
Give me a perception
And
check.
like be peering. Alrighty. 16.
16. As you look in, you see a floor plan. You see the bar is towards the right as you open the door. So you go in and turn right. There's where the bar would be. Forward into the bar, you see chairs. There's booths. You don't see any people standing around and drinking. With a 16, you do kind of hear like a scurry from the underneath the bar. But it looks like that there are people in here, but they're hiding.
Okay. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab one of the chairs from the tables and wedge it against the door just to like relock it so we don't get unwanted company like me.
Perfect.
And as I'm doing that, I'm just like, I'm gonna speak up and say, "Hey, everything's okay. I'm just here to play a little Triple Triad, okay?" And just like, kind of like leave myself open that the palms are open. Doesn't mean much from Varen, but just like, hey everyone,
Give me a persuasion check.
all right. Hopefully the roll's good because 10.
10. Yeah, you don't hear much of a different response. There will be a person does approach out of from what looks like the other side of the bar from the ground. He'll get up. It's an older man. He's got grayish hair. He's wearing kind of like an old zoot suit type of colorful, like flairish suit. He got kind of like pulls himself up and he's like, we don't want anything to do with the Galbania.
Yeah, so Varn's gonna look at him and it's all right. I'm actually from Balam.
I should do more of an
It's,
older man voice for this guy. Oh, you're from Seed.
Yeah.
That I am. We're here to help out with the Queen of Hearts and make sure everyone's all right.
Get in. Like shuffle over. He'll
Yeah.
come and look at what you did at the door.
I'm sorry about the door.
It's okay. Here, help me.
Desperate times, you know?
Help me with
Desperate
this.
times.
And then he'll like point with some like a big bench set for like waiting people for their turn to sit down, and he'll gesture over to you and he wants you to push it over in front of the door. It's like made of iron around with the wooden like spots to sit, so it's pretty heavy duty.
Yeah. Pretty heavy, yeah.
So yeah,
I'll start dragging that over.
Drag it over right in front of it. It
Yeah.
seems pretty secure at the moment. Like
Okay.
She's upstairs and she's terrified.
Oh, I might have scared her even more then. My partner's upstairs.
We were wondering.
Cut to me like march pacing back and forth on this balcony.
Just like a bunch of like a kid at an aquarium and just like ging 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 ging
Yep.
ging. She's like bullets. And he'll lead you up the stairs to the second floor, where you'll see a bunch of billiard tables. You see the shadow of Cafefe going back and forth in front of the door outside that you see has a bunch of paper over it. They don't have anything in front of it. It looks like it's just locked. In the corner, you see a woman stand up in her white dress with a shawl on, who looks a little scared. And with her is a man in his like mid-30s. He looks kind of strong, kind of capable. He's probably, from your background, you would immediately go like, this is probably someone she hired to take care of her, in case things go bad. He looks scared shitless, like green as fuck. Like he's like,
Yeah.
like, but he's saying like,
it's-
it'll be okay. But it's like, you can barely get the words out because he's so terrified. And then an explosion will go off in the background, and then you hear car sirens, and then he's like, you're gonna be okay. He's not making things better.
Yeah.
But yeah, she sees you approach, and she kind of just sits there and waits for someone to say anything to her.
All right. So yeah, Varin, I'm gonna just like quietly approach. I'm gonna place a hand on the guard, who seems to be even more. I'm taking it as he's more spooked than she is at this point.
Yeah.
From the look of it, at least. So I'm placing hands like, don't worry, help's on the way. And I look at it was Celeste.
Yes.
Is her name? Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna look at her and go, never thought I'd ever meet the Queen of Hearts. It's nice to meet you. I'm Baron from Seed.
Oh, thank you. I wish we were meeting on better circumstances.
Yeah, but life has a funny way of working sometimes.
That's what they tell me. Can we leave?
We can't leave yet. There's help on the way that's securing an exit. So we just have to hold out a little while. But you got me. My partner's here as well. I don't know if you saw them.
At this point, my giant ear is pressed up against the glass.
Your heart races so fast that you could probably hear the pain kind of like wiggle. Aerin actually, well, you're outside Cafefe. You see down the street a group of something is coming and marching in this direction. With your passive perception, you can notice that there is a group of 3 what looks like soldiers. They, unless if you act now, you can get away from being seen by them, but they're walking down the street.
Oh, I'm absolutely gonna hide. And since I am a plainsfolk, I am incredible at hiding.
Mhm.
So I assume there's you said there's like a big can with like cigarette butts and stuff in it, right?
Yeah.
I'm absolutely gonna crouch behind that in a little ball. So it's gonna be a 19 stealth for me.
Perfect. Okay. There's no way their passives are gonna pass that. So you saw the imprint of Cafefe against the window, and then immediately, you could tell by the difference in body language from knowing Cafefe this long. They went from being moving constantly to quiet. So
Okay.
it
So
doesn't take
in response,
Scooby Doo
I'm gonna-
to. Something's going on.
Yeah.
If you wanted
Need
to,
any Blue's Clues for this one.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a finger to my lips like this and just listen.
Moments
Yes.
moments go by, and then you're going to hear knocking from below.
I'm gonna look at Celeste. I'm gonna tap the guard and kind of give him one of these. And then just like creep to the kind of like the arch of the stairway, just to like keep an eye for now.
Yeah.
See what happens with the knocking from there.
The knocker is going to start shouting commands. You hear, we know you're in there. Open up before we break the door. But, more commanding and masculine.
Okay.
You're still upstairs, right?
Yeah, I'm at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're still hiding.
Yep.
Fefe, you know from being downstairs that if they're at the front, they're gonna have a really hard time seeing you. So if you wanted to get closer, you could. I'll let you keep the same stealth check. You could just and look over if you want.
And how many of them are there?
3. Looks like there's 3.
Okay.
The one knocking looks far more impressive. The other guards have been in blue equipment, like a dark blue with like pieces of like gray metal. He's in red.
Okay.
He's very imposing. He's a lot whiter. It looks like there's a lot more stuff going on with him, and he begins knocking again, but he's putting a lot more force into it, and the iron bench is starting to wiggle with every time he pushes it in.
Okay. Let's see what I want to do. What do I want to do?
He's gonna say, I know Seed are harboring here. It will be at your best interest to kick them out of your bar so we can take them for you.
What?
I'm gonna lean into the bodyguard. Do you shoot or do you fight up close?
That's his response.
All right.
It looks like he has a he has a long sword on his side.
Okay.
Actually, let's get him some. Can you pull it together? He rolled 3. He looks like he's gonna do this.
He's shaking.
Oh, man, I'm so torn.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna creep Ooh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm gonna have Varen like should I would I notice how shaken he is from that
Yeah.
or like yeah, all right. I'm just gonna say, all right, unless it's me, don't let anyone through that door. And I like motion for him to go back in. Um and I just want to like take a spot behind the door that's being banged on
Hmm.
to like prepare an ambush for whoever comes through.
Absolutely. So we'll get you there. You'll hold your action to attack for the door to go by. Kafefe, what are you doing?
Yep.
I'm gonna. How heavy is this that I'm hiding behind?
Um, like 10 pounds.
Okay. So I'm gonna pick it up and sneak to the edge. And can you have? Oh, do I want to do it to the big guy or to one of the grunts? Ugh, how? I mean, how intimidating does this large man look?
Pretty intimidating.
And if I lean over the balcony, can I like see the top of his head?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, make a wisdom save for me,
Big guy?
big guy.
I got 13.
Hold person, motherfucker.
Oh, fuck.
And I am then gonna drop this thing down onto his head.
He leans his arm back, forces his hand through the door. The door explodes. Varen, you're looking at this happen. The bench is shunted through. It hits the pub. The door splinters wide open, and his arm just kind of stays there.
All right. Perfect opportunity for for that ambush.
Give me an
you wanna
attack
deal with
roll
a heavy
with
object?
with your objects.
Oh God! All right. What would be my modifier for that? I guess it's just a straight roll.
You would add your dexterity.
Sick. Oh, I got a 22.
Yeah, it would be a D4 plus your dex.
Beautiful.
I'll say you're proficient in dropping shit on people. Why not?
Yeah. Take 7 points of damage.
Hell yeah. And with that, we'll roll initiative. But Varen gets to take an action, his held action.
Beautiful.
Alrighty. Alright, so I will open. Do you want me to roll initiative first or deal with the attack first?
Go ahead and do the action first.
Alright. He's paralyzed, so we'll go with that. So that is 25.
25. This is a critical hit.
Yeah. Yes. So we'll double that up. Ooh, 15 total.
Jesus Christ.
I
Nasty.
rolled when I needed it. Yeah. So, yeah, Varen sees the door splinter away and everything, and he's like, "That's my cue." And he like he turns the corner behind the door and just spin kicks the guy.
Yeah.
Like just full roundhouse kick, just wham.
Fucking roasted, man. Now we'll roll initiative.
Alrighty.
Hold person is so nasty.
I saw it was on the spell list and I went, yeah, I'm not taking that.
It's the most powerful second level spell.
Yeah. Oh, it's incredible.
So
it's
many.
good.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I have to stop using whole person in my videos on YouTube because like we know now. Billy, stop.
We know.
Yeah.
Did anyone get higher than 20?
No.
Nope.
15? 10?
11.
I'm running on 6. I got lead feet.
Damn. And then all right, Kafefe, it's your turn.
All right. Oh man. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna perch myself up on the edge of this balcony and take a shot down at one of his little compatriots. That's a 1, so no, I'm not.
That's fine.
Woo!
Ping. uh, and
Killing it.
are you gonna do anything else?
I do. Oh wait, I get 2 attacks. I realized that earlier that I get 2 attacks.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna try it again. That's maybe better. 13.
13. Who are you shooting?
One of his like Goonies.
The Goonies. Okay, we'll say Goonie on the right because that hits exactly.
Perfect. That's gonna be max damage. So 11. I can do math. 11.
Awesome. This is gonna go roll into their turn. Well, the main guy is going to spend his turn trying to save out. What's your spell save DC? I have 14.
14.
Meets it, beats it. He is outside of parallel, but he can't do anything. So, he is going to Baldur's Gate. He'll use his offhand attack. No. We are going to the one that you stuck an arrow in like into his clavicle, basically, takes a step back, and he puts his arm up and he grasps at you, and you feel like a really cold chill, and then you need to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh no. Good thing I'm good at those. Oh yeah. That's gonna be a 25.
Yeah, you definitely save. So you will only take half damage. Let me pull up just to make sure. I wrote it down. Yeah, cool. So, it feels wrong and intrusive. And all of a sudden magic kind of like goes around your body, and then you see the magic pulling out of your body, these like greenish glowing like energies as it's drawn out of you, and it goes into his arm, and you see like parts of his body kind of stitch up. He casts Drain at 2nd level. So you
Rude.
are going to only take half damage of 6. So 3, and he gets half of 3. So I made it sound way more impressive than it actually did.
It's definitely scary.
It was spooky, but it was definitely like, oh god, am I hurt? Oh no, I'm fine. And then the other guy's just gonna shoot you.
No.
We got a 16 in an 8, so 16's not gonna do it. Yeah. Fuck. You take 8 points of piercing damage.
Ouch.
The other guy is going to run in, and he is going to try to take 2 swings at Varin. Oh, Jesus. He comes at you really confident, and then goes to swing at you, but he's still in the doorway, so his sword kind of hits on the top part of the threshold, and then yanks it off
the frame.
Yeah, and then he like, fuck it, I'll stab, and he stabs at you, but he's already off balance, so he kind of slips and falls forward into you. So now he is to your right, while the main guy is to your front. And that is gonna go to Varin.
All right. So I see the 2 guys on either side of me. I think what I'm going to go for here. We'll start nice and simple. Go for a pair of attacks on the lead guy, the most impressive guy. So go 2 attacks on him. So we're looking at 20 and 22.
Okay, both are hits.
All right.
And he doesn't look armed with swords. It looks like he is also fighting with giant, like, mechanical gauntlets type of thing.
Gotcha. All right. Didn't roll super high on that one, so we're going with 10 damage total.
Okay.
And what I think I'll do then, I'm gonna spend 2 charges to go for Steel Peak.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and stun him. So he needs to make a Strength save against DC 13.
I rolled a 3.
All right. So till the end of, or until the start of my next turn. Stun.
To the start of your next turn.
Yeah, stun him.
Awesome. You hit him right in the solar plex, and it kind of just like cracked to the point where all his muscles got rigid, and then he still hasn't had a turn yet. He's very confused.
What's happening to me?
It's just wide eyes, like.
All right. So that's a rider on the hit. So I'm gonna use my bonus action to open my last chakra gate for my baseline stuff.
Perfect. And that
That'll
is
be
gonna
my turn.
go to Kafefe.
Hell yeah. Do I want to keep making this man's life a living hell? Why not? Why not? Yeah, I'm gonna cast pyrotechnics. The fireworks. Just like kind of right in the middle of those 3 guys.
Okay.
Like I want to try and put it just behind them so that it's not going to affect Varen if I can.
What's the range? What's like the area effect? It's only 20 feet.
10 feet. It's 10 feet.
10 feet. Yeah, you could get.
Yeah.
You will be able to get the guy that has been attacking you and the main guy, because the other 2 are inside, so you won't be hitting them.
Yeah. So it's a Constitution saving throw.
Con save. Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, it doesn't matter. He totally failed it. And then okay, so the big guy passed, but the little guy definitely did not.
Nice. The little guy is blinded until his next turn.
Oh shit.
And then I will take a shot at the big guy for my second attack.
You're gonna have disadvantage to. No, he's gonna have partial cover because he's in the doorway.
That's okay. I definitely don't hit him. I rolled a 5 plus it's 11 total.
Okay, you have a second attack though. Wait, no, you don't.
No, I don't.
Yep. All right. So the blind guy is how long am I blind?
Till I think it's my next turn, end of the round. Yeah, till the end of my next turn.
Jibo. All right, he's gonna just not blind. I have to see for that. All right, so he's gonna just have to shoot aimlessly at you in your direction. Yeah, from a creature. Oh no, it's creature within range. Get drained, son.
Rude.
Make a charisma saving throw.
Oof. 11.
11 fair. Nope.
No.
No, it meets it. So that's 10. You take 5. I heal 2.
Ouchie.
He just like it's just like this in the street, like haha. Got you, bitch.
I'm getting you somewhere.
Rude. It's like warring magic users on this map.
And then the big guy is out of stun, so he's no longer stunned, and he's not gonna move or do anything with his bonus action, so that's it. The other guy is gonna try to pull his pants up and try to hit you 2 more times. Okay, so 1 definitely whiffs, but he brings it back towards in a horizontal way and kind of grabs you before you can move to the side, and you're going to take 5 points, 5 plus 1, 6 points of lasting damage as he actually kind of connects you as you move around. And then it's gonna go back to Var.
Spicy. All right. So as a reaction to that, I'm gonna spend one of my elemental charges to gain resistance until the start of my turn, which is now. But I'll cut the damage.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
I really want to try and use all the tools.
Right?
All right, so my turn. I'm gonna keep it nice and simple, straightforward, and go. I know there's a little guy jabbing me in the side, but I'm gonna keep whacking at the big guy.
Yeah, you're getting little brothered right now for sure.
A little bit. All right, so we got 14 and 19.
So 19 hits, 14 does not.
All right. Okay, so yeah, Martin's gonna like go for like a wild one, but like his balance is off from getting jabbed, and like kind of like misses, and then out of frustration, he's just gonna go for like a sharp knee into the guy's gut, for 5.
Perfect. And that's gonna bring us back to Cafefe.
Oh, I'm tired of this man draining me with magic. So I am gonna use another one of my minstrel's music. But I'm gonna use one of the soothing songs, Silent Nocturne. So I'm gonna spend another one of my my inspiration dice to start playing that in case he decides to try and drain me again, and then I'm gonna shoot him. Shoot him. Oh God.
Pew.
The old pew pew. 13.
Hits.
Yes. Eat arrow for 7 damage.
Zoinks. Gets him right in the thigh. He's still blind, so he's very confused.
Yeah.
They're not having a very good day right now.
No.
They're not.
Don't
Teenage
invade
parents.
towns.
Yep.
And then that's gonna bring us to them. Right. Let's see. The guy who you're pew-pewing is going to pew-pew back. Draining is not the ish for sure.
Hateful.
Okay, so 2 shots at your direction. You are hit once. You take 5 points of 5 points of piercing damage.
Ouch.
The big guy is going to turn towards Varus. He's going to pull back his hand and try to swing it down at you. You see in his hand it starts to mechanisms start to open up and start igniting something that looks like almost like a taser, and he brings this giant club of a fist towards you. And he misses, not terribly, but pretty enough to make it funny. And it just it collides with the wall, and you just like duck down, and you see this sparks are flying, and then he's going to lift his hand back up and try to throw it back down on you. And he got 14.
14? No.
You push back.
I'm running 6.
Push back with your quads. You do the cool anime jump out of the way, and his fist just collapses into the ground. And the other guy is going to take 2 more swings at you, and miss both of them.
Barnes doing his job.
Yeah. And then it is back to Varn.
All right, so taking that jump back and then those side steps from the other guy, Varn's just gonna rush straight back in on the big guy. He's like, all right, he's off balance. He just swung. He's open, and he's just gonna try and blitz him down with a couple unarmed attacks. So got a 9 and a 22.
22 for sure.
Yeah. So 22 is going to hit for 10. Oh, no, 9. It's for 9.
Okay.
And then I think I'm going to go for Grease Lightning. So I'll pop a charge.
Hell yeah.
To make another couple attacks. 21 and 11.
21 hits.
All right. So that's going to hit for 7.
How do you want to do this?
So
You just
Barin,
fuck this guy up, dude.
yeah. So Barin sees that hammer fist slam down in the ground, and he's like, "All right, this is like my opportunity. It's the kill shot time." And he's gonna rush in. His first blow is gonna like act like a feint and just like sweep past the guy's head, and he's just gonna crack his jaw and just like have him look straight up. And then he's just gonna go for like a jumping like thrust kick into like the neck, throat, chest area, and just drill as hard as he can after he's opened up the spot.
With like a sick crunch and a as Eric blows out of his larynx, he crumples over. And the other guards are kind of stunned. They were not prepared for their captain to drop so fast. And they're kind of just holding their guns and looking at you guys like, and then, was there anything else you want to do? We just have movement.
Yeah, I just have movement. I'll just move so that I'm standing right on top of the guard. Like, I'm just like up in his business, but like, I'm not attacking him. Just, just getting close and kind of give him like the look.
Mm-hmm. It is Kafefe's turn.
Oh, how rough does this guy I've been having a shootout with look?
Hella rough. He's got
good.
arrows all over his body. His eyes are like blackened. There's like soot all over his face from fireworks.
Good.
He's just kind of reaching out like.
Oh, why am I so tempted? Because I feel like I need to get downstairs. Why do I want to just cannonball down onto this poor man so badly? I'm not going to. I think I'm just gonna
totally can.
Take.
It's like Sonic.
And
so like jump and roll into a ball.
Yeah, that's kind of what I. Yeah, no. So that's definitely what I want to do. Is she's just gonna go, "Hey, catch!" and then like cannonball down.
Give me an attack
on top
roll.
Of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give me. You can use your dexterity for this.
Good. That is a 12.
You missed.
So close.
You missed
So
by
close.
1.
Thonk. I
know. I'm still gonna say that. Because you missed, I'm gonna give him a dexterity saving throw to get out of your way.
Okay.
Or you both are just gonna take equal fall damage.
Splat.
Okay, so you rolled a 6, so you'll both take 10 feet of fall damage.
Yes.
Ouch. 6. So you both take 6 points of bludgeoning, and you are both prone.
I land. I'm looking rough because I've also just got arrows stuck out of me. But I just give you a
little thumbs up.
Just let flat down on the ground.
It is their turn. You knocked that guy unconscious, so he's not moving. The other guy is kind of holding his sword and looking really, really, really scared. It looks like he's going to run away, and he's kind of like judging if you're going to attack him if you move out of your swing zone.
I'm gonna grab him. I'd like to like do like a grapple attack when he tries to run.
Okay, cool. So let's do oppose.
All right. So that's strength on whatever he's using, right?
Yeah, you can use athletics.
Okay, so.
Ooh, I rolled good.
I did not roll well on that, so. I rolled a 4. Or no, 6. Sorry.
You got 17. So you reach out to grab him, and he and goes real limp, and it's embarrassing for him.
It's like the desperation.
Exactly.
Like,
Always.
Like, no, I want to
touch me. God.
He'll drop his weapon to do it. Yeah, and he'll just boogie down the street. You two will both walk out. Well, are you gonna walk out on the way? I'm not gonna decide that for you. What are you gonna do?
That's good. I will walk out to help Kafefe up.
Thank you.
I want to chase him, but we can't.
I'm like got little like spiral eye stars around my head.
Yeah.
That didn't go as planned. I look rough.
Yeah. Do you need a little break there, Cafefe?
Yeah.
All right. Crawl in. I'm gonna drag this guy. I'm gonna drag this guy inside just so that
What
I say.
what are your guys' passive wisdom? What are your
Oh.
what's your perception score?
I got
11.
Yours is good. Yours is 15.
Mine is so bad.
Varn, when you pick up Cafefe, you hear like a crunch from the distance, and you look up towards a large tower that Dollet has. It's a radio tower, and as you look up on it, you see it's opening, and as it's opening, like dishes are being like constructed, and like a layer on top is folding down and creating like a ring. You are watching it and like, well, that's super weird. The owner, the old man, comes out and looks up at the tower, and he's just like, what the hell? But the tower hasn't been in use in decades.
I think that's why they're here, maybe? What does it do?
They used it to communicate through like TV and radio for across the whole planet. It's a communication tower. It's just been out of order forever, and no one's needed to use it. It doesn't make any sense. And you guys will walk in, and you're bringing the body in with, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna drag the guy.
All right, cool. So you guys will drag in. The door is shattered wide open.
Yeah.
Whoops.
And yeah, the Queen of Hearts is still upstairs. Just kind of keeping it low.
All right. I think I'm gonna mosey back up. Like, I'm gonna keep the tower in the back of my mind, but I'm like, all right, not our mission. Pass the exam. Not our mission.
Yeah.
And Varn's gonna like wander back up and give a few knocks on the door and say, our guests have left, and like to come back in.
Yeah, they'll come out, and she seems to be in a higher spirit, at least compared to him. He looks scared shitless. He looks pale, kind of sick. He might have threw up a little bit, but she's just like holding on to her shawl and just like, we're just gonna sit over here. He needs some water.
Well, let's get him some water. And
yeah, she's asking you to go
rag.
get him a glass of water.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow you up there, looking beat to hell. And when we get up there, see her and be like, oh, "You're so pretty. It's nice to meet you. I'm Kofefe. I don't always look like I'm dying."
Aren't you precious? She's like, she gets down like little kawaii thing, like,
I love it. I love it. And then I'm gonna
You were
crawl up
shot.
into the chair.
They shot you.
I was a lot of times.
With guns.
Yeah, it hurt.
Crazy.
And then with that, I'm gonna pull myself up into a chair next to her and pop a healing word. Because I'm dying.
So
As this is going on, I'm gonna ask the old man for the water and the rag, all that.
yeah, perfect. You guys are all set up. You guys can do a short rest if you'd like.
Oh, beautiful. Yes.
I will definitely take that.
Please.
An hour is going to go by, but I'll let her actually. Perfect. Okay. As an hour goes by, the Queen of Hearts perks up for a second. It's like, do you hear that? And then she'll get up and like start walking towards the the balcony door, and she'll open it pretty carefully, kind of just making sure no one's on the direct balcony. And then she's walking outside.
I'm gonna stick right beside her and like almost like try and body block her from sight a little bit, like not try to blind her from seeing stuff, but just like try and obstruct anyone that might be passing by. I'm just like, should probably be more careful. But no, I don't hear that. What do you hear?
Do I hear that?
With your, if you guys go outside with her, which it sounds like you are, you guys can make a perception check. But your guys' passive perception did not pick it up.
Alrighty. Yeah, when she's talking about hearing stuff, I'll try and listen out, see what's going on.
Oh, I definitely hear that. 19.
Glad you do, because
My big ears.
I rolled 11.
My big ears. They're so useful.
So, as you look in the direction that she's looking towards the tower, which, to get to the tower directly is all of Dollet. And she just goes, it's a crashing sound, but it sounds different. And then you hear it.
My ears just go, dink.
It's like almost an implosion, like something falling in on itself. And then you hear it again. And then you squint out towards the hall, right where town hall is where the road that leads up the mountain to where the tower is, and you see a building fall. And then now you're both, all of you are hearing car sirens.
We gotta move.
And then another building falls. And then another building falls.
We gotta go.
We're going.
Yeah,
we gotta
going.
go.
Yeah.
I just grab her hand and I'm pulling her.
Yeah.
You guys rushed out of the building. Looks like as you guys are leaving, everyone else in the building is catching on and running outside. You guys run out. As soon as you guys open the door and take a look down the street, you see a group of individuals in Seed uniforms that look like they're running the fuck out to. One of them has like a cute little curly bob kind of haircut. One of them is a really young gentleman without any weapons. Looks like he's got gloves in it. He's got a weird tattoo on the side of his face. And the other one has this emo demeanor that makes you not want to be friends with him.
Yeah.
They're getting the fuck out of there. And then you turn and you see this giant mechanical creature that is almost crab-like, almost arachnid-like, as its arms are clawing forward, and it's just going over buildings, and cars are being destroyed behind it. And you guys need to fucking run. So let's do athletic checks as you guys are running down the street.
No. Oh no.
Alrighty.
Oh, it's not my strong suit. Oh no.
Ooh, the curse. I keep hitting that too. Alright, so I rolled a 6.
13 for me.
Don't you love a DM?
I'm not
so
right?
so good.
It's delicious. So you guys are running. I'll run Facile. Okay, so Celeste is doing fine. What were your guys' 6 and 3?
6.
13.
13. Okay, so you guys are booking it. Varin, you let anxiety hit you longer than you planned on letting it hit you, and you do a trip. You don't actually fall, but you are now back behind where Celeste and where Kafefe is, but you scramble using your hands to make sure you don't actually get prone, and you start booking it, and you guys are headed towards the beach as fast as you can. Mechanical claws start piercing into metal and wood, and you just hear crunching and explosions, and you hear the sounds of gears and electricity running through, just as just things are just being destroyed behind you. And you let the best of you rolled low enough to look behind you, and it's just big, and it's blue, and it's just angry, and it has these weird mechanical appendages around where its face would be that are shooting off electricity, and it looks like fucking hell. Let's do another athletics check.
All right.
Oh no.
Calm down. Go.
Mhm.
Oh,
11.
well, marginally better. A 9. Varin is
Killing it. We're
Oh,
killing
he's good
it.
at
No.
he's good at fighting, not good at running.
Okay, so she got 10. So you, Fefe and Celeste, are getting away, but it's not looking good, and you trip again. It's just insane. It's so funny because in actual Final Fantasy VIII, for some reason, every time you zone, Squall is for some reason
Oh yeah.
way behind everyone,
Every
and
day.
it's exactly what's happening.
Every time.
It's exact like your teammates
Yeah.
are like at the next street and they stop and they turn
Yeah.
around and Fefe
they're
and
just
Celeste
like,
look
"Where
at
are
you. They're like, this way.
Yeah. Come on.
But you're running as fast as you can, and this thing is like 10 feet behind you, just like angry
Yeah.
and menacing and going towards you. And we are gonna do another athletics check, and yeah, it is dire for you.
All right.
19.
Is there a chance he could look for like a shortcut that he like vault off of or anything like that, or is it just
No, you could
straight
totally
it's
give
gotta
me
work?
give me a, let's do perception check.
Okay.
She could also in Bardic Inspire you if you like, if you want.
Oh yes, take a bardic inspiration.
Oh, perfect.
Absolutely. My last one. Well worth it.
I knew you wouldn't. I knew you'd want to, and I'm just stressing you out. You forgot.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so I'll take that perception roll to see if there's a shortcut I can go for.
Or some kind of cool flip.
Yeah. Oh, I can go for the cool flip.
You can go for the cool flip.
All right.
Hopefully.
How big's that bardic inspiration?
D8. It's D8.
D8. All right. I'm gonna use that because I rolled a 3, so it's 10 total for the flip.
Okay, so
Okay, I got the 8 on the inspiration, so 18.
Yeah.
beautiful.
Doing a flip.
Awesome. Do you want to just? Okay, so yeah, you're running through. When you fell, it kind of pushed you over to the side. So now you're not down the street. You're in the sidewalk where there's a bunch of debris, and it kind of moved with you. So you ran up a car that was knocked over a lamppost. So you ran up the car onto the lamppost and then jumped to the other side, and while like misty flipping in the air, and the monster kind of just goes in your direction while you juke out of it, and you land on the ground and you're back up and you're running. And we are going to do one more athletics check,
Oh god.
All
and
right.
it is a space. It's not the space behind you, but it is the space behind you.
12 for me.
That is a 10.
Oh god.
Varin, run!
You guys run to the it's the parking lot right before the beach, and Celeste and Kafefe run down the stairs. They have enough time. They get down there safely. They're running across the grass. You don't have enough time. You run and you head on jump onto the railing and leap out towards the sand. Give me an acrobatics check to see you land, because this is the only way you can get past this
Yeah.
guy's attack this round.
All right, 19.
Awesome.
Hey.
You hit the sand and roll into it. The monster leaps out behind you, and then as you look up at its giant mechanical body, you hear the sounds of bullets coming from a Gatling gun that is being mounted from a boat that is further down the ocean, and it is just emptying its clip into this thing. And you made your flip, and you're able to continue running with your squad C, and you see a boat that you could totally escape with, and you guys start headed off that way as this monster behind you is just being absolutely Gatling gun to nothing. It's still clawing at the beach and trying to get closer and closer, but it looks like it's trying to get closer and closer to a different group of people. So fuck them.
Remember the mission.
Remember the mission.
If I've caught up, I'm just gonna like wipe my brows for running. Go, not even close.
You guys dive into the hatch of your little escape pod, and the doors close, and it pushes itself back into the ocean, away from Dollet City. Celeste is there with, oh yeah, her guard. Her guard is somewhere. You guys didn't take him. Not part of the mission.
Split up in the chaos.
Not
You're
part
like,
of the
we
mission.
are leaving. You stay here.
Yeah. But that is something to deal. She can deal with on a different day. Today, you two sail back to Blam Garden, and tonight will be the seed ceremony where both of you will be congratulated and promoted to honorary seed of Blam Garden. Very good job, guys.
Perfect.
Hell yeah.
Yay!
That's good stuff.
Yay.
Thank you so much for playing with us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I really appreciated it. I was so excited that you said yes. I was like, fuck yeah.
He was like crying, screaming.
I called you. Yeah. I've been
a little sparse.
I've been shoving
there.
this module down my friend's throat so long, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
In all
I-
caps was like,
Let's check this out. Yeah, I was like flipping through my emails earlier, and I just like, oh no, there's the email where Billy reached out. It
Oh,
was
the first
buried in
time?
all these like, it was buried in all these auto notifications, so I didn't see it. So
I can't imagine.
I'm glad you caught me.
Yeah. No, I figured like, oh, I'll just catch him on a stream.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was a good call.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks so much for organizing this.
Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome back anytime. Thank you too for listening to Roll for Booty, the Booty Call, the podcast with the longest name. If you wanted to get a review shouted out on air, all you have to do is put one in the iTunes space to put reviews. I'm gonna start reading them out on the next episode. Feel free to put whatever insane nonsense you want me to say in there. Treat it like an AOL chat room. Just go nuts. I'll read it. I don't care. I've been Billy King with Soren, the creator of the GMbinders Final Fantasy 14 classes for dnd5e. It's fantastic. All you have to do to find it is type in Final Fantasy dnd5e, and it will be the first thing that pops up on your Google. Easy.
it's truly that easy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aerin.
Thank you. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'll see you guys next time.